Hi everyone, today we're going to review sequencing, and remember that's putting the events of the story in order that makes sense with Miss Nelson is missing. So I want you to get your reading journal out, okay? Go grab that. Now if you want to watch Miss Nelson is missing again, you can feel free to do that. You can go back to Monday, but I know you've seen it a few times, so you might not want to watch it again. That's okay. We're just going to review your chart of our character traits. So remember, the children at the beginning of the story were rude. Miss Nelson was sweet but kind of irritated. In the middle of our story, the children were worried. Where is she? And Miss Nelson wasn't there, but Miss Viola Swamp sure was strict, right? And then at the end of our story, the students were well behaved, and that made Miss Nelson very happy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take all those pieces and we're going to sequence them in a paragraph all together, all right? So grab your reading notebook and let's open it up. Okay, so when you also brainstormed sequencing words that get put in order. So we're going to start off with the date, 8/24/20, okay? And we're going to indent. We're denting in. I'm going to put 2 fingers down. I'm going to draw a line, and then that's where I'm going to put my first word. Right? So we're going to start off with at the beginning. That's one of our sequencing words because we're starting the beginning of our paragraph. At the beginning of Miss Nelson is missing. I just wrote the letters so I didn't have to write out the whole word because it's a really long title. At the beginning of Miss Nelson is missing. So we're going to start off by how each character is feeling at the beginning. Then we'll do the middle, and then at the end, we'll do the end. At the beginning of Miss Nelson is missing, skip lines, the students were rude. How do we know they were rude? We're going to give some evidence. Evidence is proof. For example, go down, skip a line. They made, remember they were making those silly faces? They made silly faces, period. Remember, a period comes after one thought, one idea. You don't just keep writing. One thing happened, they made silly faces, period. Okay? Now we're going to talk about how Miss Nelson was feeling at the beginning. What was she like? She was sweet, right? But she was also irritated or annoyed. Miss Nelson, now I have capital letters because that is her name, was sweet but irritated. Why was she irritated? Because the children were misbehaving, that's right. Because the class was misbehaving. They were acting pretty wild, huh? You wouldn't do that at school, would you? Mm-mm. You can save that for at home. I mean, when you're outside playing. Okay, so now we're going to go, and Miss Swamp was not at the beginning of our story. So now we're going to go to the middle of our story, and we're going to use one of those words we talked about yesterday with Mrs. Hart. Transition words. Shows the order. So we have beginning, then we have then, and I'm going to box it so we keep track of our transition words. Then she disappeared. She disappeared. Now, how are the students feeling after she disappeared? They were worried. They wanted to know where their teacher was. Then she disappeared, and the students were worried. So you might have to pause if you're not keeping up. I know you probably haven't written this much in a long time, okay? And I'm a lot older than you. You know how old I am from math. I'm a lot older than you, so I can write a lot faster, okay? So if I'm moving too fast, that's the great thing about the video. You can just pause me. She disappeared and the students were worried. Remember where they went to look for her? They went to the police station. Some even went to the police station. Now we've got Miss Viola Swamp. She's in the middle of our story, so we need to add her and what she was like. After that, oh, it's a transition word. After that, Miss Viola Swamp, and again, all of those words are capitalized because that is her whole name, her first and last name. You always capitalize names of people. After that, Miss Viola Swamp came, and what was she? She was strict, right? Strict. You know anybody else who's strict? Maybe mom and dad are being strict with your schoolwork, or maybe not. Sometimes teachers have to get strict if students misbehave. You hear that teacher voice, right? And she was strict. Let's give a little piece of evidence. Why was she strict? What did she do? She made him work real hard right away. She made them work hard. And a lot. So that was the middle of our story. So let's think of the end. Who's at the end? What were the kids? The kids were behaving correctly. And what about Miss Nelson? She came back and she was happy. So it's the end, so let's put in one of those transition words again. I know your hand might be hurting, but we're at the end. We're almost done. Finally, Miss Nelson came back to a class well behaved. So the kids were well behaved, and we need to talk about how Miss Nelson was feeling. And she was very what? She was very happy, right? How do we know she was happy? Because she had a big smile on her face. This made her so happy that she smiled huge. Yay. She's happy. She's got her sweet little hard workers back that are behaving and being respectful. I know that was a lot to write, but look at it. When you finish it, look back and think, whoa, I did that. Be proud of yourself. Get your fingers ready for writing, right? Okay, so this is our sequencing our story, our putting our story in events. What are some other things you can sequence at home? What things can you put in order? Think about making a peanut butter jelly sandwich. You can't make it unless you first get the bread and the ingredients, right? You can't just wish it to be done. It's got to make sense in order. That's what sequencing is all about. Okay, we'll continue on with this later. Bye.